Hey guys, I've seen a lot of recent requests in my videos to see like an updated settings guide. So I'm just going to quickly go over like my keybinds, my mouse settings, stuff like that. And then later at the end of the video, I'm going to go over some of my favorite builds I use on all my characters. So to start, we have a look sensitivity of 5, ADS modifier of 1. My DPI, I'll show it later in my actual mouse software, but it is 500. I have seen some comments that say asking if I use like a controller or a Zim, but no, it is just my mouse sensitivity is pretty darn low in comparison to some other players I've seen. My friends who I usually play with sometimes call it like a dad sense because sometimes this like one of my friends who plays on controller like turns faster than I do, but you know it's just what I'm used to, so I'm just sticking with it. Some of the more notable keybinds. So I have melee on my top side mouse button. This is really helpful for me because I use shotguns a lot. I think it's really helpful. So if I can shoot, if I have my shotgun out and I shoot obviously with left click and I want to melee really quickly, it's nice having it all in the same place. So I can just melee, click mouse 1 and then with my thumb I can just press the side mouse button and I can just quickly shotgun melee. So I think that's really helpful. For jump, I have two binds. I have a spacebar and scroll wheel down. Scroll wheel down, mostly I don't really use it on Hunter, but on Titan and Warlock, Titan you can scroll wheel skate with the catapult lifts, which makes you go really fast. And then on Warlock you can skate up the stairs and launch yourself at really high speeds. So that's like a pretty big advantage if you're playing mouse and keyboard rather than controller. I do have hold sprint and hold crouch because they're just more responsive than toggle crouch and toggle sprint, so I don't really see a big reason to use toggle crouch or toggle sprint. I have my air move, so Icarus dash or shadow dive on my bottom side mouse button. I think this is really helpful, especially on Warlock, because let's say I'm using Icarus dash, it's nice to be able to direct like where I move with the mouse, and then also press the Icarus dash in the same spot. So I feel like it just gives me more control over like that ability. And then I do have my grenade and super keys swapped because I did play Overwatch, so the super on Q just feels more natural to me. And then I don't use my scroll wheel to switch weapons. I don't really scroll up ever. Most of the time if I'm switching weapons I'm using my number keys, just 1 and 2 for kinetic and energy. Like I don't swap them out if like my primary is energy, or if my my shotgun is kinetic. Usually I'll just stick with the 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna make a quick cut and I'll show you guys my my mouse settings. So yeah, basically I only have the 1 sense 500. I don't really change it, or 1 DPI 500. I don't really change it like on the game, based on the game or anything. I'm just usually stuck with 500. I just feel like it's more comfortable for me. I usually, like before I played Destiny, I did play some CS, so like I feel like the low sense really helped me over there, and so I really got comfortable playing with a lower sense, so I just stuck with the 500 DPI. And my mouse is the Superlight 2. I was using a wired mouse before this, and some of my friends recommended me switching to a wireless mouse, and I didn't really like want to buy into that until I actually got the mouse for myself. With the way my desk is set up, the wire from my old mouse could snag easily on like my monitor or something. So having this wireless mouse definitely is nice and more comfortable, and it's like less annoying because it doesn't like catch or snag on anything. And I feel like the battery like doesn't really like I don't really have to charge this thing too often. So I think this is definitely worth it if you are going to upgrade to a wireless mouse. I don't think I'm going to be changing this mouse like anytime soon. Like I'm sure this will be my mouse for like the next couple of years or something. So I definitely would recommend this mouse if you guys were willing or wanting to switch to a wireless mouse. Alright, lastly we'll go through favorite builds on each character. So typically, transversive steps with a Thorn and Retold Tale on a Voidwalker is my favorite build on Warlock. I haven't been playing it too much recently because 120s are honestly just quite they're just better than 140s right now. So even though Thorn is my favorite gun, I have not been using it in stuff like Trials or like Comp or anything very much. So I am definitely eagerly awaiting that 140 buff to see if it makes a significant difference. But most of the time on my Warlock, if I'm not recording a video with like a certain build, I'm probably just going to use something like this. Solar Warlock, Ophids to help Igneous, conditional, pull out a little faster. I do have 100 Intellect with Well, Celestial, Firebolt, and then Heat Rises. Heat Rises in combination with Icarus Grip and Ophids, it gives your gun, or it gives Igneous like base 68 airborne effectiveness, so you don't need to eat your grenade to have good inner accuracy in the air. You can just like jump in the air and hold your jump, and your Igneous will have really good in air. So I have found that to be a worthwhile adept mod to use. But yeah, nothing really special else on the Warlock, I'd say. This is probably like the main build I'd be using for trials and stuff, if it's not for like a video or anything. Okay, so starting on Titan, this is probably my favorite build, Striker with Rose and Matador. This is probably my best Rose, like crazy. Like I've been doing comp like every week and I still haven't gotten like the perfect one. Ideally, Snapshot is very nice, but if I had Opening Shot, I think that'd be a little better. Just the extra range would be helpful. But Snapshot, I really do like using this roll. I got this like a couple weeks ago. This roll has been really good. I've used a lot of like private matches, like scrims and stuff. So this is definitely serving me well for the time being. It's definitely a nice Rose. This Matador, really nice. Obviously not a 5 out of 5. I think a Handling Master could be better, but this is like, it's good enough. Like I'm not gonna sit at the Ogre for farm like a better one. So like this is perfectly fine. Normally I wouldn't use this build in Trials. If I was playing Trials, I'd probably use either Sunbreaker or Sentinel, but most of the time I've been playing Sunbreaker recently. It's been more fun than like Sentinel, because Sentinel is getting kind of stale. This build, I definitely have been enjoying using the Burning Maul. The Burning Maul is definitely like becoming more and more popular. I'm seeing more and more people use it, especially among like the better players. Because if you get this super, like it's a GG. Like you are not killing this person in super if they're swinging a Burning Maul. And if you do get it, it does counter bubble. But I think overall bubble is a little better because you get the super faster and you like the overshield barricades. But I do like the healing grenade and the solar abilities that this class has. And I normally just use it, boring old, igneous conditional. But I do use different like perks and stuff depending on my character. My Warlock, if you like I had before, would be like Adept Icarus and Hammer Forged with like more range and less handling. But on my Titan, since I don't have Ophids, I usually just use Arrowhead for handling, Adept handling, and then these don't change obviously, but I find that 73 range is good enough if you're on like a Titan or a Hunter. So I think the handling has really helped. This Precision Instrument obviously is really good. But yeah, this is probably like my main Trials build on Titan if I'm going to play Titan in Trials. So yeah, I'm going to switch over to Hunter real quick. Alright, so my favorite class on Hunter is going to be Solar with either Blade Barrage or 3-shot Goldie. Gamblers, Strafe Jump, Knife Trick. Knife Trick, if you're playing Shotgun, I would say is the best knife to use, unless you're having like a specific build like Proxy Knife. Weighted Throwing Knife is also really good, but I think Knife Trick, if you're playing a Shotgun, is the best because it helps clean up the shotgun kills a lot easier. Trip Mine Grenade, and these basic fragments, just for stats mostly. I normally use Stompies. Dragon Shadow has been growing on me, but do think that Stompies are still my favorite. Typically, just like a Thorn, Hawkmoon, or Rose. Um, with a Matador, the same one on my Titan. Just a very solid classic build. But definitely would not use this for trials unless it was like for a video or something. I did enjoy earlier, like last weekend, I made a video on this build. This was a lot of fun actually with the Dread, the double sidearm. In trials, I feel like you do get enough Forerunner ammo if you play, because Drang is good enough. Like you can just push super close and just rely solely on your Drang. So if you just are a little conservative with Forerunner ammo, I think this is a really good build. I did see suggestions about using like Worm Husk or Frosties with the build, but I do think Mechaneers for my playstyle is the best because I just want the guns to feel as good as possible. They do get like the plus 50 airborne, and they're basically like Peacekeepers but for sidearms. So I've really been enjoying this build, and also not, or have been using Night Stalker with it as well. Night Stalker, the invis is just like so cheesy because you can just catch people off guard because you're crouch invisible somewhere like nasty. So I do think that's probably the best hunter class for trials. If I'm not using that invis build, I'd probably be using this one. I did also make a build for earlier. I don't have it on my character, but I would use Igneous and Chaperone with the Omni to be invis as much as possible so you can sneak up and get those Chaperone sneaky kills. So this build is also really good. This is also really good if you're playing like in a 3-stack. Like if you're like one invis hunter and then 2 Titans, that could also be really good because you have the Titans to hold down with the shield, and you have like the one guy you can flank and get some cheeky first picks. And then there's one more build I do want to try. I haven't tried since the update. Is my old bug build with the Strand Threadlink spam. I think this would still be good. I did realize the Threadlings got nerfed because of their damage, I think. And the ability cooldowns are less, but I do think this would still be a pretty annoying build to go against. This would definitely get a lot of hate comments for sure. But this is definitely not something I bring out very often. If I'm just like running around like playing quick play or something, I'm most often I'm just gonna be using like basic like Arc Strider or Gunslinger with like a a classic like morality loadout. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for more of those solo flawless trials videos.